So, you're staring at that daunting parking ticket trapped under your windshield wiper, right? You're probably just wanting to take care of it effortlessly from the comfort of your living room. Well, welcome to this explainer. Today, we're going to walk you through the supposedly simple process of paying a parking ticket online in Salem. And we'll cover absolutely everything you need to know to handle it with total ease. Okay, so you've got this piece of paper and you just want it gone quickly. The standard prerequisites apply here. You're going to need internet access, a debit or credit card, and some specific info right off the ticket itself, like the ticket number and your license plate. But before we dive into the actual step-by-step payment process, we have to ask a really crucial question. Wait, which Salem are we actually talking about? Let's dive right into this. Because depending on whether you're parked in Massachusetts, Oregon, New Hampshire, Virginia, or New Jersey, the way you pay that municipal fine is going to expose the massive, incredibly fragmented reality of American local bureaucracy. Honestly, there is literally no single Salem system. Instead, your whole experience, the portals, the fees, and even your basic ability to use the internet depends entirely on which state Salem you happen to be parked in. All right, Section 1, flat fees versus percentage surcharges. Let's move straight into looking at two cities with drastically different philosophies on exactly who should foot the bill for digital government systems and just how much that convenience is going to cost you. This completely illustrates the divide. Salem, Massachusetts, they actually just modernized their entire system in July 2024. They migrated to a platform called RMC Pay, and they charge a flat, predictable $2.75 convenience fee when you use your card on their portal. But then, look over at Salem, Oregon. They use a completely different third-party portal called SitePay USA, which passes a proportional cost directly to you, the driver, based entirely on the severity of the fine. Now, what is super interesting about this 5.95% surcharge in Oregon is that it applies to the total transaction. Meaning, if you have a higher base fine or, even worse, a fine that's already racked up late fees, that instantly triggers a surprisingly steep administrative penalty just for the privilege of paying online. Basically, the more you owe, the more the system is going to charge you just to process it. So let's look at the actual process for Salem, Massachusetts. You'll navigate over to their RMC Pay portal and just punch in your ticket number and license plate. You definitely want to double check those numbers because if you can't pull up your record, you'll actually have to manually contact the Salem Collector's Office to sort it out. Now, a successful online payment clears Massachusetts RMV holds within 24 hours, which is great. But here's the absolutely crucial exception. If you get a serious tow and hold violation, that digital convenience just vanishes. You literally have to show up in person at City Hall with cash or a money order. No way around it. Conversely, the Oregon system requires you to really carefully consider your clicks. When you head to that SitePay USA portal and enter your info, you aren't just making a quick financial transaction. Nope, paying online legally constitutes a formal no-contest plea. This instantly waives your right to request a trial or to ask the Violations Bureau for a fine reduction based on your driving record. So a huge pro tip here. If you actually want to contest the ticket, do not pay it online. You'll need to bypass the portal entirely and contact the court directly. Moving on to Section 2, the local digital divide. So what happens when the ease of the internet suddenly just stops, right at the town line? In some Salems, the online payment option simply doesn't exist for certain types of local tickets. Well, let's take a look at Salem, New Hampshire. Up here, local authorities enforce their own municipal rules, like their notoriously strict winter parking bans, completely independent of the digital age. Yeah, if you get a local ticket in New Hampshire, you are stubbornly tethered to the physical mail system. You literally cannot pay it online. You have to write a physical check, find a stamp, or fill out a paper appeal form and go drop it off at the police station on Veterans Memorial Parkway. But in this super strange dual system, if you were to receive a state-level motor vehicle ticket on those exact same streets, you could easily just pay it online through the state DMV portal. Wild, right? And we actually see this exact same localized digital divide repeating itself down south. The city of Salem, Virginia, utilizes a standardized $20 municipal fine for basic things like parking in a no parking zone or blocking traffic. But despite Virginia having this really robust online state portal for traffic summonses, which is known as VJOPS, Salem, Virginia keeps its local $20 parking tickets entirely offline. If you get one of these, you're stuck mailing a check to a P.O. box, or you have to physically visit the treasurer's office on North Broad Street between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. to settle up. The convenience of online payment is simply not an option for local civil parking violations down there. Okay, Section 3, statewide systems versus local control. Let's see how this dynamic completely shifts when a state decides to override local municipal quirks in favor of a centralized clearinghouse. So, in Salem, New Jersey, the local municipal court has a really strict policy. If you walk up to their window, they flat out refuse to accept credit or debit cards, cash, check, or money order only. But because the state of New Jersey mandates a single statewide digital portal called NJMC Direct for all municipal traffic and parking matters, drivers actually have a clever workaround. You can seamlessly bypass the local cash-only bottleneck entirely by just hopping online and paying with your card through the state system. Which brings us to Section 4, the cost of bureaucracy. We've traversed the whole country exploring these drastically different systems, so let's summarize the bizarre administrative reality of paying a ticket in a city named Salem. This comparative matrix pulls everything together perfectly. Your financial penalty, your grace period, and your basic access to the internet are entirely dictated by the geographical lottery of municipal boundaries. I mean, you have 21 days in Massachusetts before penalty hits, but only 5 days for a local ticket in Virginia. You pay a flat fee on the East Coast, but a scaling percentage on the West Coast. So, as a best practice to avoid these wildly varying late fees, always read the fine print on your specific ticket, and honestly just set a calendar reminder on your phone the very moment you receive it so you don't forget. To recap, online payments can offer incredible ease, saving you a whole trip to City Hall. But, as you've seen, only if your local jurisdiction actually allows it. Note that while we strive to provide up-to-date and accurate information here, procedures and platforms may change. Please refer to the official City of Salem resources for the most current information and consult them for any specific queries or legal concerns. We'd love for you to share this explainer with anyone else who might benefit from figuring out this puzzle. And we'll leave you with this final thought to ponder the next time you find a piece of paper trapped under your windshield wiper. Should the convenience of digital government be a guaranteed standard everywhere, or left to the quirky offline reality of local town halls? Thanks so much for joining us.